Peace. What's going on with y'all? Peace and power. I'm glad y'all in the building with me. Peace and power. It's dark. I'm in my tent. I have to recalibrate myself. I have to recalibrate. What's going on, y'all? I'm glad y'all in the building with me. Huh? I'm glad y'all in the building with me. Just give it a minute. Let some people come into the room. I'm in the tent, so it's a little dark. It's a little dark. It's like what you call what is it? The Keith Sweat Hotel, right? Keith Sweat Hotel. The music, the late night hour, the Sweat Hotel. Huh? Yeah, we ain't in the Sweat Hotel though, but I'm in the Sweat Hotel. I'm in the Sweat tent. I'm in the Sweat tent. I ain't in the Sweat Hotel. It's hot. Florida's hot. Tonight I don't have my tea because it's too hot. It's too hot right now tonight to have some tea, so I brought some grapes. I brought some grapes with me. Huh? See my grapes? Can y'all see my grapes? I got grapes. Grapevine. Y'all good? Can y'all see me? Y'all don't need to see me at this hour anyway. I normally only come on the audio. There I am. I'm in my tent. There's nothing back there but tent. It's just tent. Okay? It's all that's in here with me. And my grapes and my radio. But we're going to get into it just a little bit. Alright. I see some people coming to the room, so we're going to start. We ain't even going to waste no more time. We're going to start. It's funny. Hold on. Let that cam play out just a little bit. You know what's funny? Sorry y'all can't see me. You don't need to see me. You just need to hear me. Okay? You know what's funny? What's funny is how when you study spiritualism, and you study like naturalism, and you study all these other type of fields where these fields have laws that I'll turn this radio off. It's funny how when you study these certain fields, right? Laws and universal laws, natural laws, laws of discipline, and spiritual laws. It's funny how like every one of these laws got 12 in them. You know, they got 12 laws. The laws of the universe, there's 12 laws. The laws of discipline, there's 12 laws. And the laws of spirit, there's 12 laws to the laws of spirit. Right? I've been studying the 12 laws of the spirit. And to help you understand what the laws of the spirit, the 12 laws of the spirit is, you know, I'm going to be doing the 12. I think I am. I don't know if I am. I may only do a few. I may not do all 12. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to attempt to do all 12 laws of the spirit in a series, you know, a series of the 12 laws of the spirit. I may not do them every night. I may do them sporadically. I may come back. I may go in one and I may go out into a different message and then come back with the second one, a message after that. So there's no telling when I might do the second one. But one of the laws of the spirit, which is funny, and let me tell you what the number 12 represents. The number 12 represents a complete cycle. 12 represents a complete cycle. You understand? Like it made a full return. Like 12 is the representation of, you got the 12, you know, months of the year. You got 12 on the clock, you know, 12 hours in a day. You know, you got 12 is everywhere. 12 is irrelevant. You know, Jesus had 12 disciples. 12 is a very big number. 12 is a key number, an important number. It represents the number of completion or a complete cycle, right? And so tonight I wanted to do, because I've been studying the 12 laws of the Spirit. And let me just run down what the 12, if you never heard of the 12 laws of the Spirit, let me practically give them to you right here real quick. You got, first law of the Spirit is the law of balance. This is so good because this is going to be the first one I'm going to give you tonight. You got the law of balance. You got, excuse me, you got the law of choices. You got the law of process. You got the law of presence, which is I love. You also got the law of comparison, the law of faith, the law of expectation, the law of integrity, the law of action, the law of cycles, the law of surrender, and the law of unity. Those are the 12 laws of spirit. Well, I'm going to start going into the first law, which is the one I want to break down for you. And that's the law of balance. So this is a good law. This is for a lot of you in the room today. The law of balance. And I'm going to bring this message to you today in my teaching guidance type of way. You know, a leader leads by guiding. He doesn't lead by pointing. A leader leads by guiding. And let me tell you something about someone who guides and someone who points. You know, go do this, go do that, go that way. One who guides is a well-balanced teacher. Let me say this again. A teacher who guides is a well-balanced teacher. Because what he does or she does, they do it out of the spirit of love. They do it out of love and always love, never out of anything else, out of any ill intent, ill will, or something that will go against you and his or her higher self. So any teacher that tries to teach you anything, they must be able to guide you. And a teacher that, you know, you got a lot of speakers. You got a lot of speakers out here. A lot of people that just speak because they just want to be heard. Then you got a lot of speakers who are teachers. This is a big difference. You got a lot of teachers, okay? Teachers that speak. And you got speakers that just, they don't teach. You got speakers that speak, but you got teachers that speak. See, speakers should teach and teachers can speak. But a lot of speakers don't teach. A lot of speakers talk just to be seen as a teacher, but they're really not teachers. Because a true teacher guides you. A true teacher guides you. And tonight, my objective here is to guide you into a state, a consciousness of balance. Because see, this world has been designed to go against itself. This world is a world of imbalance. And I'm not saying the world, the earth plane itself. The earth plane is always in perfect balance. The earth plane itself is always in perfect balance. The water, listen, right now in Florida, we're dealing with this toxic in the water called red tide. And it won't be long before the ocean cleanses itself of the red tide. Because that's what the earth does. We don't have to go and try to cleanse the earth or the waters of red tide. It will do it itself. The earth will do it itself. We have red tide that occurs a lot in Florida every so often. And we don't have to do anything to clean the ocean of red tide. It will cleanse itself because the earth is in perfect balance. The earth is in perfect balance. You understand? And so when you got teachers out here teaching you, they have to be well-balanced teachers. And a teacher that guides you is a well-balanced teacher. I'm going to guide you tonight into a state of balance. Because this is the message titled, The Law of Balance Explained by Your King, the Enlightened Messenger. You see, to be balanced is to be both, watch this, it is to be both aggressive and lax. It is to be both aggressive and laxed. Okay? To be balanced is to be both aggressive and lax. And what do I mean by being aggressive and being lax? Right now, I'm being lax. Right now, I'm being lax. I am teaching you in a very calm, being able to breathe while I talk to you, not running through my words, but more so staying conscious of the message and the objective. So I'm lax while I teach you. Then you got the aggressive approach, where some people cannot hear the lax message because it bores them quite to death. The lax message leaves their mind wondering, because their mind they got the attention span of a flea. You feel me? So their mind need to be, they need to be fed very, 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 very quick. Like a flea, it jumps and moves very quick. It has a short attention span. And some people need to hear the message very aggressively, because that's how their brain takes on the words or the message or the understanding. It comes in. And so sometimes you will catch me coming in, boom, 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 hitting you with a lot of words, hitting you with a lot of message, hitting you with a lot of dialogue, hitting you with a lot of content, but still understandable, to bring you up to an awareness, to a state of awareness, understanding what I'm saying, making you aware of what I'm saying. Huh? Tonight is the lax message, because this is what it means to be balanced. You see, you're not guided. Watch this. You're not being guided by what I speak tonight. You're being guided in how I maintain my mental state of being. You are being guided in how I maintain my conscious mind. You are being guided in how I maintain a composure of being able to speak to you still without having to run through my words, but being able to give it to you and feed you quite enough where you say, I'm not bored, but I'm entertained. But it is, even if you're not entertained, it's still captivating. It's capturing you. And so it keeps you pulled in. And so how am I guiding you tonight? Is it with my words? No, it's not with my words. It's with my lax state of consciousness right now. It's with my lax state of being. And I'm here to tell you right now, the law of balance is just this. What is it? It is just this. In the world of in the chaotic world, you need to be like that egret. You know that egret, or the flamingo? You know how they stand on one leg? Mostly the egret is a bird. You know how you see that egret? It stands on one leg, perfectly balanced, with a lot of chaos going on around it. There's a lot of things that may be going on around that egret. But he is to be balanced on one leg like that is to be calm. Is to be in a state of pure lax. Nothing's bothering you. I'm calm. I'm okay. You see, this is what it means to be balanced. It is to stay in contact and in touch with that lax side of who you are. Because in the state of being balanced, you need to be both aggressive and lax at the same time. You need to know when to give somebody that hurry up, you need to get this kind of message, and you need to know how to let me be the listener this time and sit back and relax and hear what this person is saying, and even take and filter out what may work for me and what may not. So what's happening to you right now in the state of consciousness? Because remember, we wrestle against not flesh and blood, but spirits of a darker principality. We are in the spiritual warfare. We are in spiritual war. And you must understand that the world is after your consciousness. The world is after your consciousness. The world is not after your money. They got enough of that. They can print money. They can do whatever they want. Money comes, they print money on demand. They can print money on demand. So the world is not, listen, after your money. Those of you who say they just want your money, no, they already got your money. It ain't the money they want. It's the conscious mind that they want. It's the soul. It's the soul that they want, the mind that they want. And here's how you, and how do you stay balanced without giving up your mind? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world only to lose his own soul? Well, here's what it means. Watch this. In a state of conscious balance, hear me out. You must give up. Yeah, y'all ain't hearing me now. I got to eat a grape on you on that one. Y'all ain't hearing me. You know this old saying, never give up? No, I'm telling you the opposite. I'm telling you the opposite. Give up. Now, what does that mean? Let me explain the pom-pom acronym I got. You know, POM over POM. Peace of mind over peace of money. Pom-pom. It's the pom-pom acronym. POM over POM. Peace of mind over peace of money. Why do I say that? Because you live in a state of perpetual transmutation of energy. One of the laws of the universe. You live in a perpetual state of transmutation of energy. This is one of the laws of universe. Somebody say I gotta somebody say I gotta eat grapes now. Okay, go eat you some grapes. I had to get grapes because I usually drink tea and it's hot outside right now. I'm in my tent and my grapes are cold, so I needed grapes. But back to the message. You need to stay in a state of balance because the world is after your soul. Here's why. Because in the state of perpetual transmutation of energy, how do they keep you attached? Remember what I said. Give up. They tell you don't give up. Well, that's how they keep you attached. The don't give up mindset is how they keep you attached. Keep you attached to what? Keep you attached to being imbalanced. Keep you attached to being imbalanced. They keep you attached to being imbalanced when they tell you don't give up. So you attach yourself to this mindset. You attach yourself to this theory. You attach yourself to this way of being and existing in a world where you feel like you got to continue on with school and you can't give up because it's not of you to give up, and you've been told all your life never give up, and you don't give up. But what does it do? It robs you. That never give up mindset robs you. It robs you of your peace of mind. It robs you of your joy. It robs you of your happiness. It robs you of the things that are essential for you to stay a balanced being. Because naturally, listen to me, what did I say? The earth will naturally cleanse itself. You don't have to help the earth cleanse itself. Right now in Florida, we're dealing with red tide in the oceans. We don't have to put anything into the oceans for the oceans to cleanse itself of red tide. The ocean will cleanse itself of the red tide. We don't have to help it. We go through this all the time in Florida, where we deal with red tide in the oceans, in the waters, and it will naturally cleanse itself. It takes a process. This is one of the laws of the spirit, and I'm gonna be talking about that during the later series, the law of process. But first, we're dealing with the first law of spirit, which is the law of balance. And why is the law of balance the first law of the spiritual laws? Because this is spiritual laws. These are not my laws. These are unbreakable laws. These are unbreakable laws, and the laws you ought to follow are natural law, sovereign law, universal law, spiritual law, and the discipline laws, the laws of disciplines. There's 12 laws in each of these laws. There are 12 laws in each of these laws. And why are these laws important? Because these are unbreakable laws. These are unbreakable laws, and they are in existence whether you want them to be or not. Man-made laws, but those laws are breakable. We live in a universe where there are laws that are unbreakable, that cannot be broken. And we have the 12 laws of this, and all these laws there are 12 laws in every one of them. Right now we're doing the laws of spirit. I may do a series on these laws. I may do a series on all 12. I don't know yet. It depends on how many times you might want to hear the different laws of spirit. But the first law of spirit is the law of balance. Now, why is this so important? Why is the law of balance the first important, the first law of the spirit? Why is the law of balance the first law of the spirit? Why? And we're talking about the spirit now. We're not talking about the universe. We're talking about something that has to deal with you personally. Huh? Why is it that the law of balance is the very first law of spirit? Because, divine, everything in the universe is balanced, and you are a part of that. As above, so below. You are a part of that. And so the first essential law of spirit has to be the law of balance. Why? Because everything in the universe is balanced. The sun comes up every day, or we do a cycle around the sun. And the sun comes up every morning and sets every night. The moon comes, and it all plays a part of keeping the earth realm balanced. All these play a part in keeping the earth realm balanced. The stars and the moon and the sun and the winds and the oceans and the ground, the earth. They all play a central part in keeping the earth balanced. And why is balance the first law of the spirit? Because because the understanding is you are a part of this whole thing, but you separate yourself from it a lot. Lots of times you separate yourself from this whole thing called the universe. And you need to understand that you are a part of the macrocosm. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. And the reason why you are out of balance, playing this mindset of never give up in things and never give up in life, and playing this mindset of never give up, and the reason why you are out of balance is because you're not tuned into the laws of spirit, the laws of the universe, the laws that govern our way and of existence. You are tuned into your judicial, legislation, and executive branch laws. You are tuned into the 10 Commandments. You are tuned into all these laws man-made. You are tuned into these laws. And so therefore you become imbalanced because you're following man's law. You're following man's law. And man's law, the reason why you're imbalanced because imbalanced being made these laws. The reason why you're imbalanced is because imbalanced beings made these laws. You understand what I'm saying? So, of course, you're going to be imbalanced. Because imbalanced beings made these laws. And so, you need to get a grip and understand. You need to get a grip and understand that the first law of the laws of spirit is the law of balance. And you get this right here. Watch this. Get this. That in order to stay and remain in the place of calmness, in the place of peace, in the place of pure balance, is to what? Is to not attach yourself or detach yourself to the things that you buy into believing that brings your life balance. You keep saying, oh, once I get my 401k, my life will be set. Once I get this job, what you're saying is that your life will be balanced. Oh, when I get this job, my life, I'll be good. You're substituting the word balance for this saying. You're saying something else instead of saying balance in place. And you're saying something else in place of the word balance. When you say, oh, only if I just get this job, then I'll be happy. I'll be okay. So you're saying that a job is going to equal level you out. It's going to bring equilibrium to your life. You're saying that this job is going to bring equilibrium to your life, balance. Because you're saying, oh, once I get this job, I can do this and I'll be okay. You're saying that for one thing, you can get this other thing, and you're on a scale. You are on a scale saying that once you get this one thing, it balances out the other side. When that's false. And that's wrong. And that's bad thinking on your behalf. Because what you need to be talking about, what I'm here to do is guide you out of that thinking. And listen to me well. I do not attach myself to things, people, and I don't say people loosely. Let me say that again. I don't attach myself to things and people and places. Listen, if it's time for me to move, it's time for me to move. If it's time for me to go, it's time for me to go. If it's time for me to break something off, it's time for me to break something off. Because being balanced is the first law of the spirit. It's not about, it should not be about, oh, that's not right though. For who? Who is it not right for? It's not right to just be with somebody and just leave them. What do you mean? Because see, these laws don't understand your logic. These laws don't understand your logic. They don't understand your emotion. You get what I'm saying? They don't understand your emotion. These laws operate truly and purely off of unbreakable logic. These laws are unbreakable. So you cannot justify a choice, and one of the laws of spirit is the law of choice. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the 12th series of this book. The 12 laws of spirit. Okay? I think I'm going to go ahead and do the whole series. Okay? I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because I believe you need to understand your choices you make. I believe you need to understand the processes you go through. I believe you need to understand. And so understanding the 12 laws of spirit broken down, you need to understand that these laws don't understand your logic. So when you are in a relationship with someone who's unhealthy for you, it's perfectly okay for you to bounce up out of that relationship. It's perfectly okay for you to say, you know what, I ain't feeling this. It ain't bringing me balance. It ain't bringing me joy. It ain't bringing me completeness. It ain't bringing me happiness. It ain't bringing my soul fulfillment. I got to get up out of here. And you can go anytime. It does not matter of the time, because once again, I talked about this before. There is no, time is an illusion. Time is an illusion. There is no such thing as time. There is only space. There is only space. There's no such thing as time. There is only space. We operate in space. You understand? In spaces. Not spaces, but space. Because this is one big giant space that we are living in. That we live in. That we operate in. So 1 year is like 1,000, and 1,000 is like 1 year. Like 1 year is like 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000. This is what your Bible says. 1 day is like 1,000. 1,000 is like 1 day. What does that mean? That means that in the Bible, God is saying there is no recollection of time. There is only space, because 1 day is like 1,000. 1,000 is like 1 day. There is no recollection of time. That is an indication that there is only space that we exist in the realm of. And once you understand that we exist in the realm of space, then you understand how the planets then you understand how the stars, then you understand how the waters, then you understand how the earth are in cohesiveness, are incoherently in operation, and watch this, perfect balance with one another. You see, they don't operate and function off of time. They operate and function, watch this, off of boundaries. They operate and function off of boundaries. Everything has its place. Everything has its place, and it operates in its place. And it stays within its place. It never crosses over into the other's place. The sun doesn't try to become the moon. The moon doesn't try to become the stars. The stars doesn't try to become the waters. The waters doesn't try to become the sand or the earth floor, the earth bed. None of that. Nature plays a perfect role of balance. The first law of spirit is the law of balance. And so you are out of rhythm with yourself. You are out of rhythm with yourself because you attached yourself to judicial, executive, and legislative laws. Man's laws. You attach yourself to these laws of the land, and so it creates an imbalance in you, because why? because imbalanced people made up these laws. But there are laws that are unbreakable by man, that are unbreakable, that are here. So when you understand that there is no existence of time, and then you can see everything existing in a cohesive space, and then you get an understanding of how everything are keeping their boundaries, how everything are staying within their boundaries. Then you grab an understanding of how everything are operating perfectly without trying to cross over anyone other's boundaries. And if you understand the law of balance, then you will understand your set of boundaries as well. Then you will understand what you can bring, what you came to bring. Then you will understand what you are here, your purpose. Then you will understand why you even exist. Then you will understand what you can and cannot do. And you won't try to force things on yourself. Listen to me. I'm not the type of person, I know this about myself. I'm not the type of person that can sit in the classroom for 12 hours a day trying to study and learn some stuff. So I'm not fit for a classroom. I'm a person that I need my education in short bursts. Give me my education in short bursts. I need it within 6 weeks or less. You understand? And it can't be every day of the week. It got to be, you feel me? We talking 6 weeks, and we're talking maybe once a day. Once a week, my bad, once a week. I need to get my education on in 6 weeks, and that's 1 day a week. That's how I learn. But I listen to this. I know that's who I am, and that brings balance into my life. Why? Because what I cannot saturate myself with in a classroom, I pick up an experience with what I don't learn from the classroom. I pick up an experience and I learn that way. And it's better to learn more from experience than someone teaching. Even from me, you're going to learn more from experience than from me giving you the guidance right now tonight. You're going to learn more from experience than from me giving you the guidance right now tonight. So I can tell you all this, what I'm telling you, and you may take what I said in notion, but it may not hit you just yet until you come across a set of circumstances where you have to figure this thing out. Yo, this ain't working for me, man. Hey, look, I can't do this no more. The first law of the spirit is the law of balance. And these are unbreakable laws. So why do you find yourself stuck in a bad relationship? Huh? Y'all want to see me? Here I am. I'm in my tent. So why do you stay stuck in bad relationships? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because you feel it's right to give a person a chance to justify themselves in their wrongdoing, or see, in order to stay perfectly balanced, the law of spirit, the first law of spirit is the law of balance. In order to stay in a place of perfect balance, you must not attach yourself to emotions, number one, but you must not attach yourself to the emotions of someone in balance as well. See, me, I have to stay in the place of balance. And so if I'm in a relationship where it brings me imbalance all the time, and you may say, well, one may find themselves relationship hopping. Listen, relationship hopping ain't a bad thing if you're looking at it from a perspective that I'm trying to find my equal and not just someone you're trying to fall in love with. Huh? Did you just hear what I just said? I said relationship hopping is not a bad thing if you are looking at it from the perspective of I'm trying to find my equal, because we all got that equal out there. We all got that one out there that I call your kinfolk, because that's how close they are to you. They're so close to you, they're your kinfolk. You feel me? It's deeper than just like a strange person you meeting and y'all become lovers and y'all become married and y'all become one for the rest of y'all lives. No, this person is so close to you, they're like kinfolk. Okay? And you're looking for that equal. You're looking for that equal one that you could call your kinfolk. Huh? Hold on. Open up the tent. So you are looking for your kinfolk. Okay? Your we call twin flame. Okay? The twin flame. But you're looking for that one. that you can be, that is your equal. See, you don't want to be equal to anyone. You want that person to be your equal. They must be your equal. And see, we get into this state of being stuck in our conscious mind of believing that a person has to be, we gotta make, listen, I don't want y'all to get confused in thinking that your partner has to like everything that you like. No. No, it ain't about y'all liking the same flavor ice cream. It ain't about y'all liking the same TV shows. That's different. We're talking about having things in common. That's having things in common. But we're talking about having things because it's called a relationship, right? So we're talking about a relationship should be a balanced ship, really. It should be called a balanced ship. Because why? Because it is called a relationship. So there are things that you and your partner must have that relate. These cannot be things separate of themselves, but they must relate. So I call that person my kinfolk because they're so close to you. You are like relationship to this person. You're in like a relationship, like you have like a blood relative to that person. That's how close y'all are. This what brings balance in relationships, because you and the other person have things that relate, not things in common. I can meet anybody right now today and we can have a lot of things in common. We can have the same flavor ice cream in common. Does that mean that's my equal? We can have the same love for the same type of designer shoe in common. Does that make them my equal? We can have the same love and affection for the same kind of cologne or perfume. Does that make them my equal? No, it does not make them my equal. We can have the same love and affection for the same type of model car. Does that make them my equal? No, it just means we got a lot of things in common. But I want things that are in relationship with my partner. Why? Because it's called a relationship. You should have things that relate, and everything on this level should relate to one another, because God is not what? God is not separate of itself. Let me say that again for you. You might have missed that. God is not separate of itself. Ooh, I gotta say that again. Because I just heard it for this. I just heard it. I just heard what I just said. Did you hear what I just said? Let me say it again. God is not separate of itself. What do I mean, divine beings? What does that mean, divine beings? That means that your partner you are in perfect balance with your partner. But let's get deep. That means that your partner is not something different than what you are. Ooh. I'm talking to myself right now. You feel me? Like this is like moving me. Let me say that again. Your partner is not separate of who you are, because God is not separate of itself. God does not see listen. I'm not a preacher. I don't preach the Bible, but I do use the Bible for references. I use the Bible for great references. It got great references in it. Like any book you quote, it's basically quoting the Bible. You quote it like we quote many books. I'm quoting the Bible right now. And what did Jesus say? Jesus said, me and my Father are one. Huh? God is not separate of itself. Jesus said, me and my Father are one. If it was not so, I would not say this. Me and my Father are one. And so me and my Father are one. Let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus, right? And what is the mind that is in Christ? The mind of God. And so if the mind of Christ is in you, then the mind of God is in Christ, then the mind of God is in who? In you. And we're not talking religion. We're not talking deities. We're not talking spiritual teachers. We're not talking any of these type of things, because I don't preach religion. I don't preach religion. I preach higher consciousness. I preach returning back to your conscious self. Returning back to your conscious mind. Huh? When two become one. Yes, Jay. So what we must understand, divine, is this. To be in balance, the law of spirit, the first law of spirit is the law of balance. And to be in the law of balance, that means everything in your life, relationship wise, the things that you do, it must bring you balance. It must bring you perfect balance. See, God is not separate of itself because me and my Father are one. So I am not separate of God. And my wife is not separate of me. You understand? My mind is her mind. My mind is her mind because my mind is the mind of God, higher self, higher consciousness. My mind is the mind of higher self. Some of you say God, I say higher self. To me, I use higher self, you can use God. My mind is the mind of higher self. And if I am always in my mind of higher self, and I know my higher self has the best good for me, I know my higher self brings me good, then my wife ought to follow my mind. Because my wife is not to be independent of me. Because I have the mind of God, higher self. And so the mind of God does what? What does the Bible say? The Bible says that do I not feed the birds of the air and the lilies of the field? Do I not clothe the lilies of the field? How much more do I have to give to you, my child? Does a father not give his child good gifts? Does a father not give his child good gifts? How much more will your Father in heaven is willing to give to you? Are you understanding this? That when you follow the mind of God, when you follow the mind of higher self, when you follow the mind of your man, your leader, your king, when you follow the mind of your king, he follows the mind of higher self. He is following the mind of God. The mind of God is the mind of higher self. And the mind of higher self is the mind of a pure balanced state, a pure balanced being. It is to be a balanced being. And so your man, your spouse, and everything in your life, not just your spouse, not just your significant other, but everything in your life shall bring you and should bring you balance. And you would know this. You would know this if it's bringing you balance or not when you just stand still or be still for the moment and you feel. This is how you know if you are one in a state of balance. Be still and know that I am God. You must be still and know that you got the answers. You must be still and know that the power is in you. You must be still and know that you can feel that power of balance and imbalance in your life. But you will never feel balance and imbalance because you move too much. You move too much. You got high tension. You move too much. You don't take time to sit still and be still and just relax and be in a state of in a lax position, allowing your body to breathe again. Allowing your body to operate on its own without you trying to make it operate. Allowing your mind to do the work for you and you not do the work for it. Let me say that again. I'm having grapes tonight, so, it's hot in this tent. But I'm okay being hot. I love being hot, matter of fact. But I couldn't bring my tea. Being in a balanced state, being a balanced being, which is the first law of spirit, is balance. And this is important law. Why the first law of spirit is balance? Because you need to understand that to be balanced, you're going to have to get rid of this mindset of never give up. That's a fallacy that's been given to you from the lower self. That's a fallacy to buy into. Never give up. No, listen to me. If something ain't working for me, I'm giving up. If something ain't working for me, I'm giving up. Because pom, I got this saying called pom, pom over pom. Peace of mind over peace of money. Or peace of mind over peace of material. Whatever you want to give it. Peace of mind over peace of material. I'd rather have a peace of mind. I'd rather let my mind be restored to me than my mind be lost. Excuse me. I'd rather allow my mind. I want my mind to be restored to me so that balance comes back into me. than allow myself to be attached in a way where I get lost. And I forget who I am. And I forget to ground myself. And I forget to get in my tent. And I forget to do my meditation. I forget to do these things that bring me balance. You understand? What you see, Dre? Dre say, I see that. Tell me what you see, Dre. Huh? Tell me what you see. Alright, anyway. But watch this. So let's continue. Let's continue, Divine. Huh? Let's continue this build. Because this is enlightening. This is enlightening. This is enlightening for you to have and know. So get rid of this mindset that, oh, never give up, never give up, never give up. That's a fallacy to believe in. This never give up theory. Because it steals your balance. And this is made up by man gave you that thinking. Man brought into you that thinking into the conscious mind. Why? Because to never give up is to keep yourself attached to something. Ooh, I'm going to go through. I'm going to finish all these years of school. Nope. I'm going to listen. You may be wanting to be a doctor and you understand that residency takes 8 years to get. It takes you 8 years of residency to become a fully licensed medical doctor. And you be like, but I can't give up. I'm going to school to be a doctor. I'm going to school to be a doctor. Because you want to practice medicine. But practicing medicine, watch this. Practicing medicine does you no good. Hear me out. Practicing medicine does you no good if there's no balance within you. I know you like, huh? What are you talking about now? What are you talking about? Practicing medicine does you no good if there's no balance. Well, if there's no well balance in you. You may say, but practicing medicine and being a medical doctor, it brings me balance. And to do this, listen to yourself. Listen to the excuse you give yourself. Practicing medicine brings me balance. Working on people, helping people, it brings me balance. And to do this, what do you say? I got to complete my schooling, my education. Wait a minute. I just watched a movie last night. Called The Last King of Scotland with Forrest Whitaker in the movie. You know who his sidekick was in that movie? A doctor. A white German doctor. From a white Scotland doctor. Okay? Huh? Who used, listen to me. Who used his knowledge not for money, but for the aid of the people in Uganda. He used it for the aid of the people in Uganda and also taking care of the president of Uganda, Idi Amin. Forrest Whitaker. Taking his knowledge to use it for no gain of money, but gain of balance. And so what did I just say to you at the beginning of that little saga? I said, practicing medicine brings you no good if there's no balance in you. Why are you going to school to practice medicine? To be a doctor? Because you know it brings good money in your life and you know it brings a good lifestyle to you. But what balance does it bring to you? I'm asking you a question. What is the balance that it brings to you? Helping people, it brings me balance. Oh, I get to help people. I get to work on people. Huh? Are you willing to give up the salary of being a practicing medical doctor and going to the foothills of China and going to the Amazons of South America? Are you willing to give up the salary of being a practicing medical doctor to go into the jungles of Africa? Are you willing to give up? Because this is balance. This is balance of the spirit. This is true balance. Balance of the spirit. Are you willing to say, yo, I'm going to go to school for 8 years, but I'm not going to get money. I'm going to practice medicine so I can go over here and into the jungles of Africa and use my knowledge and my skill on the indigenous people, huh? Of the Amazons of South America and in the foothills of China. Are you willing to take your skill or your knowledge and bring true balance to yourself by uplifting and raising not only the spirit but also the consciousness of the people? Are you willing to take that risk? Because some of you will look at your life and say, yeah, I'm going to school all these years in school, but I'm not going to go do it for free. I'm not going to do it for free. Yeah, I'm not going to do this for free. Huh? So now you've attached yourself to the theory of knowing that the licensed practicing field, or the medical licensing field, or however you want to say it, is going to bring you balance because you see a good life or you see money coming from it, a good salary. Huh? Are you willing to waste 8 years to go into medical residency only to go into the jungles of Africa? Are you willing to do that? I'm guaranteeing a lot of you would say no. And that tells me one thing about you. That tells me you are attached to something bigger or something lesser, I would say. You are attached to something lesser and not something bigger. You're attached to something lesser. But what about the people over here in America? Ain't there sick people here too? Yeah, there are sick people here. Yeah, there are sick people. And there are doctors over here who give their time, who go to school. Right now, there are doctors who go to medical school, only to leave medical school and volunteer their talent, volunteer their skill. I'm not trying to tell you not make a way of life for yourself, not make money to sustain life. What I'm telling you is that, number one, first of all, let's just get real about this. Money is an illusion any damn way. Money is not real. Money is not real. Okay? The value of money, it just doesn't exist. It's not real. Okay? So, let's just get that one out of the way. But let's talk about the reality of it all. Let's talk about the reality of it all. You don't want to go and work and volunteer your time as a practicing doctor so you can be poor yourself. You don't want to do that, right? No. Would I advise you do that? No, I would never advise you to do something that go against you not thriving in life. I would never tell you to go against something that doesn't bring you a thriving lifestyle. Huh? Tonight's message is about bringing you balance. So what I'm saying is this, and I've seen this happen. Many doctors and people give up. Listen, I can tell you story after story after story, but I'm not. Many doctors, there's a football owner who sold there's an NFL football owner right now, who used to own the football owner, I forget his name, who used to own the Seattle Seahawks. There's an old football owner who used to own the Seattle Seahawks. Found out that owning the football team, owning Fortune 500 businesses, and owning all these riches to the world wasn't bringing him any balance. He realized that none of that brought him balance. None of that brought him peace. None of that brought him peace until he discovered on a mission trip one day going to Africa. He went to Africa on a mission trip with a nonprofit organization to hand out wheelchairs to paraplegic people. To give out wheelchairs to paraplegics. Okay? And he discovered, while giving out wheelchairs to a bunch of paraplegic children, he discovered his true, perfect calling in life. He knew what it was and why he was in the position he was in. He realized suddenly why he was in the position that he was in. And it was to do what? It was to not only bring balance to himself, but to bring balance to the earth plane, to bring balance to the world. The first law of spirit is balance. And so the football owner did what? He sold his football team, and I'm talking about an NFL football owner, a billionaire. Sold his businesses that used to own the Seattle Seahawks, sold his businesses, sold his football team, and went into doing what? Went into giving up all his money. This is modern times. We ain't talking about something ancient. We're talking about a modern time. We're talking about modern times right now. Old Seattle Seahawks football owner sold the team, sold his Fortune 500 businesses, and went into and understood what it was that brought balance to life. Not to himself, but to life. Because he had an understanding of the spirit. You see, something spoke to his soul. Something spoke to his soul. And what happened in his soul was he had an understanding that he had a lot of imbalance in his life. And he was like, yo, none of this owning the football team brings me fulfillment. Owning Fortune 500 businesses don't bring me fulfillment. Having all the nice cars and homes is just not bringing me fulfillment. Only until he went over into Africa and went with a nonprofit organization to give out wheelchairs to a bunch of paraplegic children did he discover why he was in the position he's in and what the purpose of his position was. And what it was to bring a balance back to the collective conscious mind of the people. You see, he brought a balance back to spirit. He brought a balance back to spirit. What did he do? Those children who had no way of walking, who had no wheelchairs, all of a sudden now have a sense of peace within themselves. Because he brought balance to himself, which brought balance to the children, which brought balance to the world. And do you understand that that's an energy? Do you understand that that balance is a moving energy? Huh? Do you understand that that balance is a moving energy? Huh? That it permeates throughout the world, throughout the village. In that village, do you understand that balance do you understand the balance that he brought to that village? Do you understand what it did for that collective conscience of the village people? Huh? Because these are the laws. I got to do this series now. I'm going to have to go through these 12 laws of spirit to just get this to you, because this is getting good further and further I get into it. Do you understand that the first law of spirit is the law of balance? And it's important to know why that's the first law. Do you understand that when you look out into the cosmos, into the universe, and you look out over the earth and the horizon of the water, do you understand that when you go to the ocean next time, when you go to the beach next time, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look all the way out to the horizon and ask yourself, why isn't all that water over there on the horizon isn't over here where I'm at? Ask yourself this question. When you look, because I do this a lot, I ask myself, like, yo, look at the earth. Like, when I go to the beach and I look out at the horizon, all the way at the horizon, and all that water over there at the horizon, and I ask myself, how is it not that water is not over here where I'm at? How is it not all that body of water is not like drowning me right now, drowning this city? How is it not that that water is not submerging this city, this land right now, and basically wiping this land out, putting this land underwater? How is it not doing that? Balance, divine. Everything has its place. Everything has its place. And everything understands that there is no recollection of time. There is only space. And because there is only space, everything operates perfectly balanced in its space. It doesn't have to cross over into the space of one another. It doesn't have to cross over into the space of one another, because everything understands that there is nothing but space, and I have my space, you have your space, and in my space there's an abundance of space. So I don't have to step on your toes to gain your space. Why? Because there's an abundance of space. In my little space, there's an abundance of it. In my little space of existence and where I'm at, who I am, what I do, there's an abundance of it. I get to move around freely in that space without no one in it, no one hindering that space. No one can come into that space. Not just for me, but for you as well. You own that space. That's your space. You own that space. That is your space for you to operate freely and move about in it. But you can debilitate yourself. You can debilitate yourself by not using that space, but giving that space away. Ooh, I just said something. I just said something. I said you can debilitate yourself by not using. Ooh, I gotta say this slowly. You know how something is very profound, and you're like, this shit is profound. Let me say it slowly. You can debilitate yourself if you are not using all of your space. Ooh, this is so good. This is good. You can debilitate yourself if you do not use all of your space, the space that's been given to you. How do you debilitate yourself? By not using all of your space? Because you leave room for others to come in and operate that space. Ooh. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. Like Oprah say, that was good. That was good. That's what Oprah say. That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I'm gonna say that again. I think that basically sum up the whole message. I'm gonna say it again. Here it is. You can debilitate yourself. You can debilitate yourself if you do not operate within your space, and if you do not operate all of the space that's been given to you. Because if you do not operate all of the space that's been given to you, you leave room for others to come in and do what? Alter the energy in your space. And this is why you get attached through emotion, and you're unbalanced because you've allowed other people's emotions to come into that space when you should be fully operating all of that space. You should be fully operating all of that space. But when you allow others to come into that space, when you leave room, because you're not operating all of that space, you leave room. And when you leave room, others can come in and occupy that space. And when they come in to occupy that space with their energy, they alter the energy in that space. And so you're thrown off balance. And you're asking yourself questions like, why am I feeling this way? And you say, I feel, and you got people in your life and you say, yo, you making me feel some type of way. Yeah, they are making you feel some type of way because their type of way is in your space. Yeah, these certain people are making you feel some type. There's certain people in your life that make you feel some type of way because you left space in your life for them to come in and operate their type of way. So yes, they make you feel some type of way because you left space in your life for them to come in and occupy that space with their type of way. So they make you feel some type of way. Yeah. Altering the energy in that space. You must use all of that space to create balance. Let me go back to the owner of the football team and explain to you what that means when I say you must use all of your space. Ooh, I'm going to say something good again. What does that mean? Well, here's a man who's a billionaire. Here's a billionaire discovering what? His space. You see my face, what I did? I said, here's a billionaire discovering his space. I had to put my head down on that one. Here's a billionaire discovering his space. What did he do? He took all his wealth, sold the football team, sold his businesses, and went into the nonprofit organization by helping and distributing wheelchairs to children of Africa, paraplegics of Africa, and decided this is what it means to operate within your space. It means that you give up this is why I told you this. See, Oprah, say it again. Oprah, let me hear you say it, Oprah. This is good. This is good. This is good. I love Oprah. I used to hate Oprah. Now I love Oprah. I love Oprah. I used to hate a lot of people, but I ain't, but Oprah, I love Oprah. Oprah say, this is good. This is good. So what did he do? He operated, he took everything and he gave it up. You buy into this belief of never give up. No, I'm telling you to give up. If it does not what? If it does not serve you balance, first law of spirit. The first law of spirit is the law of balance. So you must give up things that does not allow you to do what? Fully encompass and fully occupy all this space. What does that mean, Divine? That means if you are operating in a space of something that is using partial of your energy and time and focus and attention, and then you got your focus and attention over here on other things, and then you got your focus and attention, then you are not operating fully in your space. Bringing balance. This is what brings balance. Why is the world in complete balance? Because the moon stays where the moon has its place. Because the sun stays where the sun has its place. Because the planet stays in their space. This is why the universe is in perfect balance. Because they understand their space and they stay in their space and they don't try to come over. The sun doesn't try to come hang out with the moon at night. The sun doesn't try to come hang out with the moon at night, and the moon doesn't try to come out and hang out with the sun in the morning. They stay in their space. They stay in their place. They operate within their place. Jupiter does not try to operate the space of Saturn. Okay? It doesn't. It doesn't try to knock Saturn out off its equilibrium, its balance, and say, "Nah, I want your position. I want your position." Saturn doesn't say to Jupiter, "I want your position," and try to knock Jupiter out of his position. I'm just using planets as a visionary. No, it doesn't do that. Why not? Why doesn't it do that? Because Saturn is operating fully in the space that it has, and there's a lot of room in that space for Saturn to operate. And so Saturn uses all of that space because all of that space is Saturn's space. All of that space is Saturn's space. So Saturn says, I'm going to use all of this space because it's mine and there's an abundance of it here. Why do I need to go over to Jupiter and try to take its position? There's an abundance of space for me here, no matter how big, no matter how small. Pluto and Neptune, some of the smallest planets in the cosmos, don't try to switch positions and, knock each other out. No. They are operating in perfect balance. So you must understand, for yourself, Divine, for yourself, that you must operate in your space. So the football owner gave up everything because he realized this was his space. He said, I flourish in this space. Owning a football team, that was all experience lessons for him to get through, to get to where he is now. As I said about earlier, that I am one that cannot operate in the educational school setting. I am not one that can operate in a school setting where I got to sit in the classroom for 12, hours a day for 12, let's say, excuse me, 12 months a year. I cannot operate in the educational setting like that. I don't learn like that. I don't learn like that. The way I learn is you got to give me my education and my knowledge in short bursts. I need it within, because this is how I operate. I operate in knowledge in short bursts of space. I operate in knowledge in short bursts of space. So I need my knowledge. If you're going to teach me, I need my knowledge in short bursts. I need my knowledge within 6 weeks, maybe 10, 6 to 10 weeks. And I need it once a week. I don't need it 5 days a week. This is how I'm able to do what? Take on the knowledge. See, this is why school is kind of backwards in a way. School is kind of backwards in a way. Because you go to school back days and you're not able to absorb and apply the knowledge you get. How can one grow and learn? They force you. They force development upon your brain when your brain doesn't need forcing upon. Your brain doesn't need forcing upon. It doesn't. You understand? And so school should be set up where you go to school, and I think they do this in Norway. I think Norway goes to school 4 days a week and for only like 4 hours a day. It's in one of those countries over in, you know, like Europe, the Western, you know, European, Western countries. I believe it's in Norway, or it may be Denmark. It may be in Denmark or it may be in Norway. But in one of these countries, kids only go to school 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. Why? Because it gives them time to apply, absorb. Let me say it the other way. It gives them time to absorb and then apply the knowledge. How can you learn if you don't have time to apply it? They give you 6 to 7, 8 hours to be able to retain the knowledge by giving you homework to go home with and hopes that you come back with the knowledge the next day. And it's no wonder a lot of kids fail school because they're not able to operate within the space at the capacity they can learn in. Let me say that again. Because they're not able to operate in the space of the capacity they could learn in. Children need that.